Mister, can you tell me about getting recruited and basically how it's different now?
Oh man. I mean, nowadays, you got so much technology that you can record any type of workout that you do, any type of practice, and of course the games. Put all of this on one
Footage.
thumb drive and send it out to everybody. Where with us, we was just hoping somebody would come by and say, 'cause I wasn't getting heavily recruited at all. I was just talking the other day. I remember the first time seeing Emery and Henry in our gym, and I'm like, "Hey, Emery and Henry, let me show off for them. This might be the only one. Let me show off, let me do my defensive slides. I'm being, everything posture right and everything." But so it didn't happen. It wasn't a heavy recruiting thing that I went through. Mm-hmm. But the kids now, you get to really put yourself out there. And all it takes is really nowadays one good game. You have one good game as a recruit, you're going to have coaches like me, other coaches really interested. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bonus for them. Mm-hmm. But I think with that, you play so much that you miss out on the skill development that I didn't miss out on because I didn't have the AAU. I caught AAU at the very end of my senior year, but it was nothing like they have today. Mm-hmm. So it was... they're blessed right now in this opportunity to showcase themselves because a lot of times from what I hear, coaches don't always have the best interest in some of these players. So when I talk to a coach or when I talk to a player, if you get two different stories, now I can just go and watch and just form my own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Which I prefer to do anyway. But yeah, I think it's definitely changed a lot in these times we're living in now. Yeah.
So Dobie, you guys, a similar question. You guys had y'all had a team that had a deeper run than their team, correct? Mm-hmm. What was the recruiting situation like for you guys? Because it seems to me, logic would tell me that shit, man, these guys are actually having deep runs in the playoffs. You would have somebody come check them out.
And like he just said, it would back even then. It wasn't what it was today. You know what I'm saying? We had a deep team. We had a deep run, 2 or 3 years that I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And our three main players, me, G. Bowles, and Preston Brown, we never really got recruited from basically like Emery and Henry. Emery and Henry offered me and G, full financial ride or whatever like that. Concord, the school I did go to play basketball, they recruited me. I had a couple other little small schools that came through, but it wasn't nothing major, you know what I'm saying? But
all that production, man, and nobody looking at you, man. That's kind of crazy.
I did get
to
see John Thompson. John Thompson did come in the gym one time, but he didn't come to see us.
He come to see who y'all was playing.
Yeah, he came to see some kid that was playing on another team. But I did get to see him walk through the gym.
Yeah. Oh man, Cass probably out there 360 trying 360 dunks in there.
Oh man, look, when we seen Big John Thompson come through there, we was like, oh, that's John Thompson.
Yeah.
Oh, it's John Thompson. But we had already played, you know what I'm saying? We had already played, so I know he wasn't there to see us, you know what I mean? He was there seeing some other kid, but it was like, wow, John Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Mister, so I guess the next step is you go to, you broke the scoring record. You then dominated the hell out of Central Virginia. and then I guess you were like all-state, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You all-state.
Junior and senior year.
Okay, how about that?
First
all right.
team. Yeah.
And then, so obviously.
Don't do that. See, this is that competitive joint that we be doing. You know what I'm saying?
This team went further. We always, this is my counter punch to that because they did go further. But like I said, like you say, the older people feel like the younger people don't know. I don't think they had the competition that we had. You know what I'm saying? I thought their competition was a little bit
last time they
different.
was here, Dobie said the competition after them got diminished because and let me preface it by saying they broke the framework up so it's more opportunity for state championships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I guess it was like a AAA, single A.
Yeah, that too.
And double A.
At the time that he was coming through, they was only sending one team to the state from the regionals.
Yeah.
You had to win the regionals.
And they would alternate. Like 1 year just be the regional champion, and then the next year would be the regional champion and the runner-up.
And y'all got caught up in
in the mix,
mix right there. So
I remember seeing, like, I think 1 year, I don't know if it was Culpeper, but it was somebody had a losing record in football. And they win the playoffs.
Yeah, see, that's
everybody wins these days.
Right,
that's nonsense.
It's like a participation trophy. You know what I'm saying?
That's not cool. Man.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
It ain't. It ain't at all.
Yeah.
Or maybe we were just too competitive. Listen,
yeah. But see, our little argument that we go back and forth with, I tell him about our teams. We went to the state 2 out of 3 years. You know, and he'd always say, I was 2 out of 3 years state myself. You know what I'm saying? I was a state player. I was a state team. You know what I'm saying? I was a state player. I went to the state twice, first team. And we got knocked out the state first round each time. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, you know what I'm saying? But
things we'll never see, but would love to always feel good about, I guess.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So you still got it, mister? You still?
You know, I can shoot it.
Look, I guess we
ain't gonna go too much more than that.
Basketball court up the street,
and
man.
That hurts. That hurts when I do that.
Right, yeah. My mind tell me I still got it, but my body saying, nah, stay on over here.
Yeah. Smart guy.
Yeah. So you go to East Tennessee State University, and from what I recall, you set a whole bunch of records. Can you talk a little bit about your experience at that university?
Well, you know, one of the main things that I can remember about that time was, you know, when they first introduce you and they're like, from Culpeper, Virginia. And when you first really hear that and you're in another state and you're like, okay, well, I'm representing, this is where I'm representing. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to hear that and to know that sometimes they spell Culpeper with 2 P's in the middle, and I had to check them about that. Like, let's get that right. You know what I'm saying? Respect for us around here. So, you know, just coming from this town and, you know, getting with some other guys to build the city up, to send them to a place that they had never been before. It was, you know, as much fun as I had in high school, I did not expect for it to get better in college, but it did. You know, and there was a lot of parallels in what I did in high school and what I did in college. And, you know, it was a successful time in my life. You know, young people, you go to college, they say it could be the best 4 years of your life. I can say those 4 years at that time period was incredible for us. You know, we won championships. You build brotherhoods with men. You learn from coaches that you still keep in touch with to this day. And, you know, like you say, you just want to pay it forward at that point. And that's why I'm coaching now. And I hope to win a championship one day and hopefully make an impact on the city like we did in Johnson City. But it was fun, exciting, culture setting, so to speak, and some things I think they'll never forget about us around there in those times. So, you know,
because you know, a lot of times, man, kids go to college, man, even if they're athletes or not athletes, they go to college and they taking in everything that college has to offer, and I don't mean education,
right?
You know, it's just a party. It's a party, man.
Wasting their parents' money.
So we on scholarship?
Yes.
You didn't have to pay nothing.
Man, see, and that's what I tell my girls. I coach girls at Leeds McRae College, and I had a great time in college. I mean, I wasn't no angel. I mean, we partied, but we was able to still stay academically eligible and still play. You know, so I encourage them to have a good time, but understand the priority that college basketball is. You know, so but the ones that don't and really concentrate on their skill, I respect that too, because if you're getting a scholarship, a full scholarship to play, you got to earn that. You know, just once you sign, that don't mean it's over now. For me, when I signed at East Tennessee State and I'm dreaming of playing the NBA, I now know I got 4 years to try to show somebody, like I did. I showed somebody in high school that I could play college basketball. Now I got to show somebody in college that I can play pro basketball. And it was a challenge, and it wasn't easy. And, you know, like I said, I got cut when I came out of East Tennessee State. Ended up playing in Germany, but then I got with the Warriors after that. So, the basketball journey has taken me all over the world. But, you know, Culpeper and East Tennessee, they're definitely the strong points of the story.
I remember when I was I went to Norfolk State University, right? And so I'm at Norfolk State, and I'm an ROTC, right? And I was a soldier, right? So we'd be in the gym working out 5:30 in the morning. But the basketball team be in there too. You know what I'm saying? So everybody think that just because you know what troubles me, man, is everybody think that it's just all glamour. But to get to the bright lights and all that, you got to grind, man.
What?
You got to grind in a way that I don't think people have an appreciation for. I saw somebody on a talk show recently said that athletes are the most entitled Americans that we have, right? And I'm like, entitled meaning they getting stuff that they didn't work to get. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold up, man.
No, when you at that level, when you reach that level that he reached, you had to put in the work.
You had to put in the work,
you know
man.
What I'm saying? They didn't see the grind that Mister was putting in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when he said back in junior high shooting 200 jump shots, that was in high school.
Right.
Now when he got to the league, I was in the gym with him when he was putting up 1,000 jump shots. You know what I'm saying? When he was in there and I was rebounding for him, sweating. You know what I'm saying? In there chasing the balls and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Giving him passes and whatnot. I wasn't even worried about, shooting, doing my thing. Or I was in there helping him, seeing him put the work in. I'm like, wow, Keith, you going to shoot some more? now we going to the weight room after this. You know what I'm saying? So now we pumping iron.
This you coming back to Culpeper or you going to where he at?
He flew me. He took me where he was at too. I've been to Golden State. I've been to Denver. I've been to Spain.
No. Hold on to the NBA stuff. I want to get to that.
I've been to France.
That is the most amazing thing I'd ever.
Yeah. Mr. Then took me everywhere. Basically, he didn't went and play ball. He didn't took me with him too.
Man, that's
my guy.
When I was sitting there trying to come up with my questions, man, I you know what? I'm a hold those questions. But after college, right? Okay, first off, you set like, what are some of the records you set when you were in college?
I mean, I left, I think, number 2 all-time in assists in college basketball history.
all time. Not in the conference. Not in the conference.
I'm number 5
all time
now.
Yeah,
but number 1 in the Southern Conference still. I think my senior year, I shot like 59% from the 3. That was
Lord have mercy.
But that's the all the work. I'm telling you that was those dusty driveway jump shots. They paid off because there's no way I could.
Don't be laughing because I'm thinking like, how in the hell?
Did you hear what he just said?
59%, man.
From 3-point range.
Yeah.
From 3-point range.
That's crazy, cuz.
59%.
That's crazy. That's unbelievable.
That was a good year shooting. It doesn't happen a lot though, because as many times as I played, I don't remember I haven't shot that percentage. But that is it's a time where it'll be a period where everything comes together. And it was funny that year. I just remember not hitting the rim that much. It was crazy how the ball was just going through there.
Yeah.
And not at a D3 school, not at a junior college. This is at the D1, the highest level. You know what I'm saying in college. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But those are probably the 2 records that I really had, that mean a lot because, that the assist shows you that I was willing to be a passer as opposed to liking to score the ball. I mean, when I came out of high school, I was, averaging like 26, 27 a game. So to tone that down to now starting to be the passer, I quickly figured out I better learn to do something else because when you get to that next level, everybody can pretty much score.
Yeah.
So, but it's only one basketball. So everybody can't shoot it every time. So passing became an art form for me and I saw the happiness that it brought some of the people because I knew it made me happy to score. So I already knew if I get him the ball and he score, he's going to be happy about that. Right. So that was an easy transition.
Yeah.
So, and this,
being a good teammate, man.
That's important.
I'm a lifelong soldier, man. Being a good teammate is an underrated quality. You know what I'm saying? You make yourself indispensable by being somebody that can facilitate somebody else's ability to get their job done.
Make them better.
You know what I'm saying?
Make them better.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And I like that. I like taking a person who didn't have a lot of confidence in their game and then you put them in a situation where they finally get a bucket and you see like the confidence start to build in them and then the next thing you know, they're believing now that I can do this more. Yeah. And so the assist ones probably meant the most. being in a few Hall of Fames, like the Southern Conference Hall of Fame, East Tennessee State Hall of Fame, to me, that's like they really appreciate you. If you can get to that level where they mention you with all the other ones that are in that Hall of Fame, those mean a lot.
Mm-hmm. So what happened after college?
Big-headed. Thought I was going to make the NBA right away because I was the best player in the country under 6 feet, second-team All-American. Like I said, led the nation in assists and shot the ball well. But evidently, you realize that the NBA is a whole nother level. One of the things you hear about the NBA is, I don't like watching it because they don't play hard, or I like college basketball because it means something. That kind of, I'm like, when I made the NBA, if you think I wasn't playing hard, you don't know basketball. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just think people don't understand the type of level that it takes to make it to that type of level. Yeah. And once you get there, the game is easier. If you ever been the best player on the court and you playing with four other people that can't really play, you can kind of see the difference. Mm-hmm. But when the NBA, everybody is pretty good, so it's really hard to say you're not playing hard. I know I played hard, and I was a backup. Yeah. Now, if they think the starters didn't play hard, I just don't see how you can say a starter is not playing hard.
That's the world we live in, man. People just have a weird assessment of what excellence is. Yeah. I'm looking at it, I'm like, shit, man. Just look at how fast they can move the ball up the court.
Right.
That doesn't happen by accident.
You're playing with the best of the best. I mean, It's an incredible feeling, first of all, when I made it, because when I got cut and things didn't work out, and you start to wonder, are you good enough? Because everybody don't make that level. So when I went to the Indiana Pacers because I didn't get drafted. Okay. Went to the Indiana Pacers, their rookie free agent camp. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized, the NBA in college was a totally different level.
Did you play well at the trial?
Nah, I stunk it up. And I thought I was nice. That was the part. I remember Greg Grant, who was one of the smaller players in the NBA, and I can remember vividly watching the game, seeing him sit on the bench, and I'm looking at him like, if he in the NBA, I know I can make it. Well, guess who my roommate was in Indiana? Greg Grant. So I'm looking at him like, oh, he about to get it. Right. After the third day, I'm laying on the side catching cramps because I'm not in the shape I need to be in. He running circles around me. They cut me after like the fourth day, and I understood it though. I was like, this level, I might not be ready for it. And actually, the Milwaukee Bucks wanted me to come work out for them, but I didn't feel like I was ready. And I was like, and this is when overseas basketball was starting to get familiar for me because I didn't know anything about it, really. Mm-hmm. And my agent was like, it's a team in Germany that would like you, and it's a team in Australia. And my younger brother just happened to be in the Army in Germany, and I was like, prayed about it, and I felt like God was going to have me somewhere near him. And turned out we was only like an hour and a half away from each other, and he got to come see me play. I made the All-Star team that year, and just had a great year. And
so where were you playing?
I was in Hagen, Bront Hagen. That was the team. It was right outside of Dusseldorf, Cologne, right in that area. Frankfurt, that's where we were flying to. Yeah. And the thing that got me to look with the Warriors, my German team, we flew to California and played like a 2-week tour of college teams like Cal Berkeley, Nevada, Reno, Pacific, Stanford, San Francisco. And San Francisco is right across the bay from Oakland, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was so happy to be back in the States because the German food and everything was a little different. So you get back where you understand the language and you feeling comfortable. And I'm like, man, the 3-point line was back to where I shot 59%. So I'm like, this is going to be a fun tour. Yeah. And so we're playing San Francisco. And one of the things I tell some of my recruits and younger people, always play and work like somebody important is watching. Mm-hmm. And so that last game when we're playing San Francisco, little did I know, the player representative from the Warriors was in the stand. I have like 42 points, like 14 rebounds against these college kids that are hoping to be pros like we are. And even though we still lost by about 20. But I had a good enough game that when I was leaving, walking off the court, Ed Gregory from the Warriors walked up behind me and tapped me on my shoulder. And I'm, looking back at him. He said, I work for the Warriors. We'd like for you to come in for our summer league team. And I was like, wow, this this might be another opportunity. And, things worked out. And, God answers prayers. I was like, if I get another opportunity, God, I promise you I won't be lazy and think I'm all that like I thought I was. And, if I go at it this way and I don't make it, then I can take not making it because everybody don't make it. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up making it. And Utah Jazz was my first game. And, John Stockton, you go from crying because you're happy running around the court like, man, I made it. And you look down and you see John Stockton and Karl Malone and you like, boy, you better straighten it up. Some dream teamers right here just in case you play. And I, 10 points and 6 assists my first game against Stockton. And I really felt like, okay, I can do this. But,
so, Mister, at what point, right? Because every young man in America, in the world now, because the game is global now.
Yeah.
But every man in America, especially during the time that you played, man, I really can't even articulate the question that I want to ask you. So to understand, what in the hell did it feel like to step on a court with somebody like Karl Malone and John Stockton and these kind of people, and not be starstruck? Because if you get starstruck, you probably gonna get lit up.
Well, that's just our upbringing. Dad told us not to back down from anybody wherever you play. And so no matter what court I played on, I always felt like I challenged myself to want to be the best player or one of the best players. Mm-hmm. And that mentality ended up having me on some courts with some really dream teamers, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, you reach that level, and at that point, you just like, I just got to show my skill when I get the opportunity because it wasn't like I was a starter. You know what I'm saying? I'm backing up Tim Hardaway, who is, the killer crossover, the UTEP two-step. Right. I'm seeing that every day up close and personal in practice. So it was like just seeing the fear on other guards guarding him was some of the things I take from making it to that level. Yeah. But it was just, you learn so much. For me, it was just like a dream come true, but I didn't get to play as much as I felt like I could have played. So that's what led me back overseas, because overseas I was getting a chance to play. And, frankly, overseas, they just hadn't seen a small point guard like me do the things that I could do. And I was just having a lot of success over there. So I just ended up finishing my career over there after that.
So Dobie, speaking of that, what was the feeling at home when Mister made it to the league?
Oh, I cried too. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the work that he had put in, and like the story that he said, just told, when he went to the trial and got cut, and he didn't make excuses. You know what I'm saying? He said, he flat out told me back then that no, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't in shape. You know what I'm saying? But if I ever get the chance again to rewrite that, I'm gonna make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? And I seen him put the work in. I seen him get the shots up. I seen him in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a proud feeling knowing that, this is my man's. You know what I'm saying? He done took me under his wing, and now I get to see all the work that he's been put in and see the results that he's getting from that work. And I was just as happy, just as proud.
Yeah.
He's from Culpeper. You know what I'm saying? He's went to the same high school I went to. This is my guy, somebody that I got feelings for, that now I'm trying to strive to get to where he's at, you know what I'm saying, in my field, where the work ethic he was putting in basketball, now I'm trying to translate that into football. You know what I'm saying? So
I ran many routes for this dude.
Yes.
That's my man right
there. He was in Denver, when after Golden State, when he was in Denver, we went out to Denver. He took me out to Denver, you know what I'm saying? And I was training for football then. He was out there, what was it, cold?
Yes.
We're in the Mile High City, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
We out there in Denver.
Hard to breathe, man.
He's out there running routes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me, trying to get me right. You know what I'm saying?
I told you I thought I was going to be nice in football. I told you that. So that was easy.
Yeah, he was nice, too. He was nice. But, yeah, he was out there running routes for me out in the cold. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get me right. So, I was just as proud as he was, and knowing that hometown kid from Culpeper, he's in the league. He's on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's my man's, yo.
So, which the segue here is the elephant in the room, Mister, is how tall are you, man?
5'8".
5'8".
They say 5'7" sound better, but I went with it, but you
5'8", right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I read in your book. I skimmed your book again before you got here, right? Mm-hmm. And you really didn't elaborate on it, but you said something that kind of telling, right? You said when you met Latrell Sprewell, mm-hmm. he just looked you up and down like, but you didn't elaborate further on what you were trying to say there, right? So I think he's looking like this little dude is on the team. Do you think that's what's going through his mind? Like,
I mean,